And there is another card. What does that card have to say about Mercury going retrograde in Leo on Thursday?
Well, I was thinking, I was like, well, how do we approach this Mercury in retrograde in Leo this time? And the Queen of Wands, of course, the Leo Queen of Wands shows up for me. Like, um, I think this is about being precise about what it is that you're doing and saying in every partnership and every communication that you have, from the person that is, at the gas station that you're interacting with, to the people in your home. Be direct, be precise, ask for what you want. And if you don't get an answer, give it a minute and then ask again. If you really want someone to understand what it is you're saying, I would suggest asking them to repeat what you told them, so you know, first of all, that you communicated properly what it is that you wanted to communicate, and that they heard what you said. And I don't know why that's coming to me, but that is definitely for someone. It's very channeled right now. And my standard about Mercury in retrograde is, a lot of us communicate in always like, we have the 360 app. Make sure that that your stuff is turned on so people can see where you're at, if that's the case. If you normally send someone texts and they're not responding to you and it's creating some anxiety, or you need an answer now, like a real answer now, not just because you want it now, if that makes sense, find another way to talk to them. So if you text them and they don't answer, send a messenger. And if you have to, kind of like what we experienced already with a dental office, you just have to show up. You just have to
Sometimes show
go
up.
to it. So the
Yeah.
Queen of Wands is like, go to it. Go to whatever it is that you're trying to get done. Go and communicate with whoever it is that you need to communicate it with, and just be, just the facts. Get your point across. And I would even say, just even quickly, it doesn't have to be abrupt or anything, but just make sure that if you're going and you're doing something and it depends on this thing, don't get distracted by other things that are going on. Make sure that you get that information out there first and foremost, and that it's understood.
Yes.
Whew,
Woo. You said a mouthful.
I did. And that's what the Queen of Wands says to me about Mercury in retrograde. What about you?
Boldly forward, knowing that things will not all go as planned. Yeah, like just like know what your goals are and keep on it, but understand that things are going to change. Like the thing I love about the Queen of Wands is that she's very bright and sunny and I think cheerful and joyous and energetic and capable. But she's got a little dark side, that little black cat there. She's been through some crap, and so you know part of her joy, part of the light that she brings into the world, is having survived some bad stuff. So in that, you know, that goes along with my thought. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking, you know, we need to keep going forward. We need to keep making progress in spite of the things that might pull us down, that might bring us down, that might try to prevent us from doing what we want to do, because Mercury retrograde is no joke. We get miscommunications, we get misunderstandings, we get fender benders, we get like our phones stop working, or the fax didn't go through, and you have to make sure, and it always seems to happen when there's something really important that needs to happen, and like, oh, I was told not to sign any contracts, but it's happening today, I've got to sign this contract, right? Just make sure you know what's in the contract. All right. It's not don't sign contracts, but make sure you know what's in the contract and make sure you're getting what you want. Queen of Wands.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. So that's Mercury in retrograde from our standpoint, and how you can get moving. And Melanie, I think it's funny because for the zodiac call outs for the full back moon that I did, that you can find on our channel, I think for Aries, it says stop trying to prove, like stop trying to prove yourself, stop trying to have a way to back yourself up and just kind of go forward. And that is really Queen of Wands energy. Like just, stop trying to prove that you're worthy of this or prove that you can get this done or prove, like that this thing is really happening, and just do what you need to do.
Yeah. I also like that the Queen of Wands right next to that card that says inner peace is my bitch, because that's a good combination. It's just like, I may not look very peaceful on the outside because I'm trying to take care of business, but inner peace, got it. Yeah.
All right. That's all I got to say about Mercury retrograde on Thursday.
Mercury retrograde lasts 3 weeks every time. August 10th is the next time Mercury goes direct. So just FYI, that's from this Thursday until August 10th. And then on Friday and Saturday this week, the moon is in Taurus, setting a pace for ourselves, especially at home, and focusing on that grounded feeling of security and how you get it. So moon in Taurus is ruled by Venus. Where is Venus right now? Where is Venus right now? I don't know why I don't know that off the top of my head.
Sounds like a good question for the Google.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. Let's see. Venus is in Gemini, of course. Okay, so the moon this weekend is ruled by the moon in Taurus is ruled by Venus and Gemini. So if we're focusing on feeling grounded and secure in our homes and setting a pace for ourselves, part of that is going to be communication. Part of that is going to be saying to your partner or your parent or your housemate or your child, like setting expectations, basically, like, I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. This is the timing by which I plan to get things done. Okay. Especially because we've got Mercury going retrograde, because that Venus is going to be answering to Mercury retrograde. So again, dot your I's, cross your T's, and just be really clear in the communication, especially with people at home. Okay. And then this Saturday, the sun squares off with Chiron. So this is our public facing lives, work, social, and civic. That's the sun. And it's about something that we have to do in order to solve a problem or to heal something that has been longstanding, sort of outstanding for a long time. So with the sun squaring Chiron, there's a little bit of oh, I see that I have an obstacle to get over, and you got to think about it, and then you have to go get over it. And that is, again, in your work, social, and civic life. So, whether that's about friends or about, politics and protests, or if it's just about like where you work, there might be something that comes up that's a bump you have to get over in order to solve a problem, make things go more smoothly. And then on Sunday of next week, which is a week from today, which is the 20th of July, the moon moves on into Gemini, and we get to lean into self-expression, sharing the content of our imaginations. Again, very communicative vibes. Notice that we started this week with very relax and reflect vibes. I'm going to stop and think about this. I'm going to let some things go. I'm gonna let some old ideas go, some old emotional coping skills go, some stuff. I'm gonna push it out of my life. I'm gonna decide that's no longer me. And so with that relaxation and with that reflection on our lives and letting some things go, we kind of come back to a point where, like, okay, now I know where I am and I want to move forward. And especially in your home life, it's so important to be communicating with the people around you, because that's how we make the progress that we do in the world. Hopefully, like me, you surround yourself with people who are supportive and kind and loving, and you can share with them what your dreams and desires are, and therefore make them that much more doable. And that's how we end the week. Coming up next week, the sun is going to move on into Leo, and we'll have a new moon in Leo. And that new moon, which is a sun and moon conjunct in the sky, will be opposing Pluto. Woohoo! All while Mercury is retrograde in Leo. So that's some powerful stuff coming up next week. This week, a little more gentle. We're just going to ease on into that Mercury retrograde, just knowing what it means for us and letting inner peace be our bitch while we dot our I's and cross our T's and read our contracts.
I like that.
That's it.
Tarot reading.
Tarot reading, right. Okay. So I've got some tarot cards here, and I will not be able to lay them down on the one in the middle there, but I'm going to hold them up here. And we're doing a 2-card reading.
Should I do the 2-card reading then?
No. One is for relax and reflect, and one is for communicate. All right. So what does relaxation and reflection look like for us at the beginning of this week? The 5 of Cups. I think that's really appropriate. You see this person is looking at the cups that are spilled on the ground and not at the cups behind them that are still standing. This is a call to turn your attention, to let go of that stuff that is already in the past, that is not retrievable, that you don't have any control over. Turn your attention to the stuff that you do have some control over and move forward with it. That's relax and reflect. That's it. That's all it takes. Relax your grip on what's been bothering you about the past and turn around and get a grip on where you're going.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's really been long enough that you've been crying over spilt milk.
Yeah. This one's been coming up a lot. I wonder if it's me.
Right. I wonder if it's me. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of letting go, and there's also been a lot of grief. Like, I've lost, even though I'm not close to them, like 3 family members since February. Like,
Yeah.
It's a lot still. There's still a lot of loss happening out there for all of us, grief in all sorts of ways. So I do feel like it's time to, figure out what it is going on, around us. That still meditate is about, being here, being in the present, and not worrying about that stuff that you can't control, no longer have control over, probably don't even have the correct memory about, and don't even know the person or are involved with the things that are bothering you anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's time to, to lean on your blessings.
100%. Notice where your cups are still full. Notice where you still have, a good connection with somebody or something. Notice where there's still something out there that you love, and turn toward it. Mm-hmm. That's the message for the relax and reflect card coming into the beginning of the week.
It's easier said than done. I know. Like, I have my own.
It is.
My own battles. I have my own journey that I'm walking on right now. Slow and steady for me.
I think we all sometimes go through these. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think we all sometimes go through these periods of time, like where you might see a friend who could use some assistance or some help, and you want to give them a hand. You want to ask them how they're doing. You want to see what you can do for them. And then, often there are things you can do for that person, but what it comes down to, like, the part of the job that really needs to happen is on the inside. Like, they need to make that turnaround. They need to start focusing on what they love and not what they've lost, or focusing on, on what they love and not what they lost. Oh, there's another card.
Right. And focus on what you're building, focus on what you already have, focus on, It really is, to me, just really things, and then knowing how to grow them. Like, they're right there. You already have them. You're just not able to see them.
Yeah.
Properly.
That's a very don't quit now kind of. Yeah. All right. So the next card is going to be for communication, and especially like how we communicate with the people at home, but also in our work, social, and civic lives, because we've got some problems to solve this weekend. Communication makes it happen. And we got the Knight of Wands, which means I'm going to wind up pulling another card. But this is like, as soon as you know what needs to be said, go say it. Okay? You know, we don't want to go off half-cocked. We want to check our facts. We want to make sure that we are correct. But as soon as you know what needs to be said or what needs to be done or what kind of plan needs to be unfolded, get into it. Yeah.
Right. Once you understand the question, like in orrery astrology, right? Like once you understand the question, once you understand what it is that you have here, then you've got to take it. You've got to run with it. Literally run with it. Go. That was me. That was me setting my hand on fire today. You know, like I felt like you just go run with it. Run to the sink.
Oh my goodness. All right. So that's hands on fire.
Hands on fire.
I guess I'm glad it wasn't your butt.
Right.
So yeah, when you see, you know, here's the thing with the relaxation, relaxing and reflecting, you know, it's about turning your attention to what you love and what you can't, where you still have a connection. And then, you know, when we get later into the week, it's going to be more about communication. And because you've done this reflection, hopefully you'll know where you need to take action and just be able to like make a strong start in that direction. And pulling another card because it was a knight and he's on a horse and we want to know where that horse is going.
Where is he going? Ooh.
Justice.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, it makes sense, Gemini and all of that with Mercury retrograde, Venus in Gemini, Uranus in Gemini, both answering to Mercury retrograde. You know, we're going to be wanting to maybe I want to say clean up some messes that we've made in the past, solve some problems that have come up, and really just find the balance in things. Make sure everything feels as though everyone's getting what they should and giving what they can.
That's pretty solid
card.
I like that, Justice.
That's our reading for this week. Let me put them all up together here if I can. Let's see.
Okay, 5 of Cups, Knight of Wands, and Justice. Right.
So turn your attention to the things that empower you. Use that power to make progress toward justice, toward equity, toward equality, toward balance, toward fairness.
To disrupt the system. Yeah. All the systems, disruption. No, I still do, unfortunately, call for some technology mishaps. And if there's ever a week, you know, sliding into Mercury retrograde, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed we've had some hiccups just happening here on this video. We had a Mercury retrograde where it was pretty wild. And I don't know if we've put that video up on our channel, but maybe I should, for Mercury retrograde, where we were in 2 different rooms. And then you actually left your room. There was such a delay in the video. Like you left the room and you were actually out here with me on the video, but it was showing you live still on the camera. And that was pretty wild.
I was literally in 2 places at once.
Right. And that, I think that was when we were trying to figure that out for you to do the Nadia Shaw video too. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah. Just all the magic that surrounded that. Yeah. So, all right. It sounds.
Can you imagine living with me?
It sounds like we're going to have a week.
So can you imagine? Good.
I don't like this delay because it makes us interrupt each other. But what were you going to say? Because I was just going to start wrapping it up.
Oh, I was going to say, can you imagine living with 2 of me?
No, not without a maid. I'm I'm just playing. So anyway, thank you so
I
much
know.
for joining us today. I'm really happy that Mel was able to join us. She's really been struggling with some dental issues these past couple of days and miraculously feels great. And I was pretty nervous to do this by myself. So I'm glad that she's here with us today. And we're here every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed and like our video. And if you would, just down in the comment section, tell us how you're planning to get through Mercury retrograde. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today, and we will see you in our next video.
Much love, friends. Catch you in the next one.